Greetings to all. Welcome to VMware training session. Srinivas here. Let me share my screen. Hope you are able to see my screen. If you are not in a position to speak, please raise the hand so that I can unmute yourself. Right now, whoever joined, everyone is allowed to speak. If anyone is not able to unmute yourself, please raise the hand. Yeah, thank you. Let me proceed. This is a day 3 session and just introduction about this course details to view whoever going to view from YouTube link and who are not part of WhatsApp community, who are just reviewing the YouTube so that they need to get an idea where, how to register and how to get a WhatsApp community link. That's the reason I'm explaining few details at the starting of this first 3 sessions, because the first 3 sessions will be uploaded to YouTube to understand how the training is going on and how to be part of WhatsApp community, how to make the payment. Okay, let's explain one more time. This is batch number 244. How do you get the details about this respective batch? Just log into Logic Labs Technologies, www.logiclabstech.com, wherein you are in a position to click on upcoming batches. As soon as you click on upcoming batches, you will find what are the batches are in progress for coming days, or it is in progress 1 or 5 days. Those batch details are available here. This is a batch number 244. See here, this number, and then who is the trainer and when it is started and what is the time duration. And then if you are not part of WhatsApp community, just click on this WhatsApp link wherein you are in a position to get the WhatsApp community group link information so that you can be part of WhatsApp community. What is the importance? You are going to get a regular updates about this particular course, as well as any upcoming batches are going to schedule. Those details will be updated in WhatsApp community. If any session is going to cancel due to some uncertainty, then that update will be posted in that WhatsApp community. Okay, and whoever going to join first, they need to register course, and whoever ready to purchase, they can click on buy now, and whoever looking for what is the course content, they can click on course content thing to get a detailed information about this particular VMware administration. Okay, back to this general information. Any queries, we are available to answer your queries. Please send a mail to support@logiclabstech.com, and or else you can reach on these mentioned numbers. As I stated, the first 5 sessions are free to attend. This is the third session. 2 more sessions will be attended free. No need to pay anything. You can attend live sessions free. 2 more sessions, including today. 2 more sessions are free to attend. From 6th session onwards, whoever completes the payment, they are going to get a new registration link to join these live sessions. Once you make the payment, selecting the respective batch, batch number 244, once you make the payment, there is no option to shift the batches. You are not able to continue this batch. You happily continue watch recorded sessions, but you are not in a position to join upcoming batches, or you don't want this batch and I would like to join another batch. That shifting of the batch information is not possible. For any queries, please send a mail communication to support, or you can call on these numbers. Yeah. This is a WhatsApp community link. So WhatsApp community link you are going to get from the same website information. As soon as you click on WhatsApp community, you are going to get the same link, whatever the link it is available here. So please log into www.logiclabtech.com wherein you are going to get complete details. What are the trainings are providing through Logic Labs Technologies. Experienced faculties are available to deliver emerging technologies like Azure, AWS, DevOps, Red Hat, VMware administration. Everyone is experienced faculty. It is everyone's responsibility to enhance the skills. So that's the reason Logic Labs Technologies are providing training sessions on emerging technologies by charging nominal cost. Yeah. So once this recorded session, whatever the recorded session from day one, from demo session onwards, every session will be recorded. Even this session also it is in recording is in progress. So once the session is completed, all sessions will be uploaded to LMS Graphy portal, wherein the payment, whoever completes the payment, they are in a position to access that particular LMS Graphy portal, wherein they can watch that recorded session for lifetime. Okay. And Logic Labs admin team is available Monday to Saturday between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. They are readily available to answer your queries. Just shoot a mail or you can call between this particular available time. Happy learning. Let's move on the details about course. Today's session number 3. And what are the points we discussed in previous? What are the points we discussed in previous session? That is hardware, voice, and application relation, how this relation is going to work, and how that applications are getting resources. That is nothing but how this hardware layer resources, CPU, memory, storage, network, those hardware resources, how it is getting shared to different applications. We are going to open number of applications in our system. Each application to execute it requires a resource. So how the resource concept is working, resource sharing concept is working. If you understand this resource sharing concept, it is very easy to understand that virtualization layer, how it is giving resources to virtual machines. Okay, that's what we explained. Why virtualization? We are going to discuss furthermore in today's agenda as well. We are going to understand why virtualization. And later we understood that different types of hardware components, system components, motherboard, processor, memory, those things we understand how it is going to work. Today we are going to understand few more components in server and system components, that is storage and network. We discussed only motherboard, processor, memory. I said for any system, it requires a 5 components. CPU, that is processor, memory, storage, network. These 4 components are going to connect on the motherboard. We already discussed 3 components. 2 more components, that is the storage and network. What are the things are going to come? Okay, that's what we are going to see. And we understood that different types of server models. As a VMware administrator, we are going to work on physical infrastructure. We are going to install operating system, virtualization operating system on a physical infrastructure. You should know as a VMware administrator, what is my infrastructure and what kind of servers I'm working on what kind of servers I'm managing my virtualization layer. It is a general question and for any interview, what is your inventory? You should say I'm managing HP server hardware, Lenovo server hardware, or Cisco server hardware. Okay, blade infrastructure, rack infrastructure. Okay, tower models. What kind of models? For every model, I said that we have a lab and we are going to work on Dell PowerEdge rack servers. Why should I say rack servers? Our model is we are going to work on model number is R820. By looking at that R820, the Dell R820, this is a model. By looking at this name itself, I should in a position to understand by looking at the name, it is a physical server and it is a rack server and what is the specifications. Okay, see here, IBM System Max 3550. It is a rack server. What is a blade server? B220. Cisco blade server, one of the blade server, Cisco B220. Okay, by looking at that model number, you should be able to understand it is a server hardware, it is from Dell, it is from IBM, it is from Lenovo. That is what we are managing the server. How many infrastructure, what is the inventory size? Okay, you should be in a position to confidently say that I am managing this kind of infrastructure. Resume, you are going to update such a way that managing virtualization infrastructure on Dell, HP, Cisco. That is not going to be sufficient. You should be, if the interview person is going to ask what kind of server models you are going to work. That is a broader view of that server hardware, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Cisco. Now, what server model? You should in a position to say that, yes, my server models are Dell R820, IBM 6, Cisco, B220, 440. Like that, you should be in a position to say that my virtualization layer running on Cisco hardware. What is the model? That information should be handy. You should be in a position to say even in a deep sleep also. Once you wake up, what is the server hardware you are managing? You should say this is my server hardware. Okay. So everything, each and everything, it is going to very badly requires to understand next sessions. So please pay attention. It is not just, I'm not going to just talk about theory. I'm preparing a foundation to understand the visualization, imagination. Okay. At any point of time, if you stuck, if you are blank, not able to understand, I'm happy to repeat. Please ask the question. It is an interactive session. You should ask questions. Then only it is more advantage. Others also going to get a different information. Okay. What is today's agenda? We are going to talk about a few more concepts of storage and networking. See here, we discussed about server models and other things. Now I'm going to discuss about storage. What is a storage? What we are going to call it as a storage? We have the server hardware that a disk is going to is considered as a storage. What type of disk? What type of disk we are going to connect? We are going to connect storage. There are two types. What is it? DAS. What is a DAS? Direct attached storage. Network storage. Storage area network. How these are going to connect? There are three broader categories to establish communication with the storage device. Whatever the hard disk you are going to connect to system directly, that is going to come under DAS, direct attached storage. Storage area network, it is an enterprise storage architecture wherein the storage connectivity is going to establish over fiber optic cables. What is NAS? That storage is going to access over the network infrastructure. For each and everyone has some advantages, some disadvantages. Which one we need to use in which scenario? how it is going to connect. Okay. Generally, whenever we are going to manage certain operating system, certain hardware, we are going to use DAS storage. In DAS, again, how it is going to connect a hard disk? You have an external hard disk. How that external hard disk is going to connect to your laptop? What is connecting? You are going to use USB cable. That is USB controller to connect your external hard disk. Similarly, in a server, the hard disk, that storage is going to connect to the motherboard over a controller. What is the most available server disk controllers? SCSI, SATA. Different controllers are available to establish communication connecting that particular hard disk. What are the types of disks are available? SD disk, traditional hard disk. Different types of vendors are available. SD, we are going to call as a SD hard disk, SSD, solid state disk. We are going to call it as a traditional hard disk. It is going to revolute. That is a traditional hard disk. For each and every hard disk, it is going to have a characteristics, parameters, how much data speed it can support. As we are working on a virtualization layer, whatever the storage we are going to use, that storage should handle max IOPS. What is max IOPS? Max IOPS in the sense maximum input output operations. What is a read and write operation? How much read and write? Who can say whatever the SD card you are using on your mobile? Who can say that what is the speed of your SD card? Your SD card will be there. That SD card has a certain parameters. How much data it can read and it can write on what speed. That is nothing but IOPS. What kind of SD cards you are using? Have you ever noticed that class 4, class 6, class 10? Anyone idea? What is the SD cards you are going to use? Okay. So this whatever the hard disk you are going to connect, it is going to connect through a different controllers. The controller is going to connect on the motherboard. The hard disk is going to establish one of the controller. We are going to use RAID controller. RAID controller. Okay, that how DAS is going to connect direct attached storage. Generally, every server enterprise server hardware by default is going to have a controller. That controller we are going to call it as a RAID controller. Okay, that RAID controller is going to have sit on the motherboard, and then it is going to establish communication with the disk, whatever the disk you are going to insert. Okay, that is RAID controller. Apart from that, that same direct attached storage, whatever the storage you are directly connecting to the server hardware, that we are going to call it as a DAS, direct attached storage. And another terminology, we are going to say that that particular hard disk, we are going to call it as a local storage. We are going to call it as a local storage. Local storage in the sense that hard disk is connected locally. What is locally? It is connected to that system directly. That is a local storage. What is the purpose of shared storage? Why we are going to use shared storage? Anyone? Why we need to use the shared storage? What is the advantage of shared storage? Centralized storage. Now we discussed about DAS, that is direct attached storage. Now I'm going to talk about centralized storage, that is a shared storage. What is the difference between local? Why we need to go for NAS and SAN instead of DAS? Who can answer? Guys, it is an interactive session. Please don't keep silent. Is it wrong or right? Doesn't matter. We need to talk. We need to discuss. It is a kind of interactive session. Then only everyone get any different ideas. Why we need to go for SAN? Why we need to go for NAS instead of direct data storage? Anyone? You are allowed to unmute yourself and speak up.
Storage. Hi, can I speak?
Yes, please, Moses.
Yeah, in storage area network, we can store all of the data all together, and rather in the NAS, in network attached storage, we can like the data can be like we can uh, grab the data from other servers as well.
Yes, NAS and SAN we are going to use for centralized storage purpose, and we are going to share storage. That is perfect. What is advanced? Why we need to look for NAS and SAN instead of directly attached storage is going to have a better speed compared to remote storage. Why I should go for shared storage? Why I should go for
Because
centralized storage?
because it's gonna be cheap, right? It's gonna be cheap, and we can like accommodate n number of VMs in that.
Okay. For example, Majid, I'm telling local DAS is storage is there. The DAS storage is going to have the storage, and I'm going to place my virtual machines on that local storage.
Yeah.
If that particular server is down with some hardware issue, then what will happen to that particular virtual machines? I purchased a server, brand new server with a 10 lakh rupees, very high-end
Yeah.
configuration, and has a storage capacity of 10 TB, and I can accommodate in the everything 50 virtual machines on the same hardware, one hardware. If that
Yes.
particular hardware is down due to memory issue, due to power supply issue, or due to motherboard issue, it is that only one server physical hardware is down. What will happen to my 50 machines?
It's gonna be stopped.
All
If the
my
server,
servers are going to stop. There is a
yes,
huge impact. So that's the
it is.
reason we need to enterprise location need to look at centralized storage, wherein even one server is down, physical server is down because of memory issue or because of motherboard issue. Doesn't matter. My servers will be there on central storage. I can simply manage or power on from other server. For example, you are
Yes,
saving the files, central location, you are working on one Wattpad file. If that file is available on your local laptop, if the laptop is not working, you cannot access that file. But if you place that same file in Google Drive or somewhere, from anywhere, any place you can access, right? That is the difference.
yes, we can.
Thank you, Mazur. Thank you. So that is the importance of storage here. Why we need to go for NAS, why we need to go for SAN, because it is a centralized storage. The NAS is going to use the existing network infrastructure to store the data. Existing network, there is no additional cost is going to involve. The existing network infrastructure can be used to establish communication from the server to storage server. So existing network infrastructure is more than sufficient to establish. But there is a limitation of data transfer rate, IOPS, because the server we are going to work on enterprise server wherein critical application, critical virtual servers are running. Each virtual server requires a 100 GB, 200 GB or 500 GB disk required. That disk is stored in centralized storage, that is NAS. It is going to establish communication over the existing network infrastructure. That network infrastructure has certain limitations. That is latency, we are going to call it as. So the SAN, what is the SAN advantage? It is run over fiber optic cable. Everyone knows that how the fiber optic The speed, how it is going to limitation, what is the speed we are going to achieve? Lightning speed. And it is going to have multiple paths to send and receive the data. So whenever enterprise environment, whenever critical servers, that everything is going to work on data. The data is nothing but IOPS. How much speed the data is going to accessible, that is matters. As we are not working on one physical server, on one physical server we are using number of virtual servers. So those number of virtual servers are going to get a CPU resource, memory resource, perfectly fine. But the underlying architecture of storage should respond properly. If the storage is not responding, even though if you have the high CPU, high memory configuration, doesn't matter. My application is going to see that performance issues. So in each layer, we need to make sure I'm going to arrange high performance devices. I already provided max CPU. I already provided max memory. Now it is a storage. What is a storage is going to fulfill my organization requirement with high speed. Okay, that's the reason. They're according to organization requirement, either they go for NAS or SAN. For SAN requirements, it is a separate infrastructure is required to establish communication between the server and the storage server. What is that? Fiber channel communication. That is host bus adapter. There is a separate device network card. I hope you know how to network card. The similar card is going to be available. This is HBA card, host bus adapter card we call it as. This host bus adapter card will be available on each enterprise server hardware, and it is going to connect a fiber optic cables. It is as looked in this picture. Okay, this is a storage communication. NAS storage, it is going to use existing network infrastructure to establish communication. Okay, this is a basic idea of how the storage communication is going to happen. If you say that I'm not aware of how the fiber optic communication is going to happen, because we are working on a server hardware as a VMware, we are virtualizing the servers. That underlying infrastructure, we should know each and every component which is going to be fulfill my virtualization requirement. Okay. Okay. This is a storage concepts, and coming to the network. This is a vital requirement to understand the virtualization networking concept. I'm going to explain with a clear, detailed manner by using the diagrams, okay, how this network is going to understand. Before understanding the network infrastructure, these are the basic terminologies we need to understand, each one of you. So I'm going to upload this file to that LMS Graphy portal wherein you are in a position to download. You should understand what is a network card. Okay, what is a network card? How it looks like network card? Who can say what is this port? Who can say what is this port? What is this port?
Sir, it may be router, sir.
Sorry? What is
PoE, power of Ethernet.
Ethernet card. Now I'm
Yes,
asking
sir.
what is this port? What we are going to call this port?
Yes.
Uplink.
Okay. Anyone?
No, sir. Yeah, no remember, sir.
Now the system, each and every system, there are two systems are there. There are two systems are there. To establish communication from one system to another system, what is required? A network device is required. That Ethernet card or network card we are going to network interface, NIC, network interface card. It is going to have a port. What is this port? It is nothing but RJ45. The port
RJ45 port, yes, sir.
RJ45 port. Now, two systems are connecting with each other, no additional device. If I have 10 devices in my room,
Yes, sir.
the 10 devices need to communicate with each other. What is required? A junction box is required, right?
Yes. Yes,
So
sir.
that junction box is nothing but we are going to call it as a hub device where we are going to see in every internet center, there all systems are going to connect. But in enterprise, we are going to use switches,
Yes, sir.
right? What is the difference between hub and switch? Who can say? What is the difference between hub and switch?
ISP, sir, hub is a ISP and switch is a transmitting and data distribution. Switch equals to data
ISP,
distribution, data
ISP
communication.
means what is ISP?
Internet service provider.
Okay. Now you have an internet service provider that is Airtel or Jio at your home. And what device you are accessing by using that ISP
Router, sir.
router? Now you said that this is a hub. This is a
Yes, sir. That is called PoE, sir. Power of Ethernet provider, sir. PoE.
yes. The major difference between hub and switch is one is a passive device, one is an active device, which can be managed. The packet travel, the communication can be managed between the systems, where the system can be the traffic, whichever is coming in and outgoing, everything can be managed on the switch device. Whereas in
Yes,
hub device, just it is a passive. Just it is going to pass that packet, that's it. It is you cannot manage the traffic in a hub. So in enterprise environment, we are going to use only switches. This kind of device we can see in our home. To establish communication, we are going to connect a port and Wi-Fi communication. Are we going to use Wi-Fi communication in a server infrastructure?
this is active device, sir.
My question is, are we going to use Wi-Fi network in server infrastructure?
Server infrastructure.
Can I
Yes.
use Wi-Fi communication in server infrastructure?
Why? Yes, sir.
No.
There is a limitation Wi-Fi. For example, you are at home, it is has a certain limitation boundary wherein it establishes communication and it has a limitation of data transfer rate. For home
Yes.
communication, it is advisable Wi-Fi communication. But in server infrastructure, it is going to be cable info. The communication has to establish over the LAN cable. What is the cable? We are going to see that Cat5 cable, Cat6 cable, right?
Yes.
Wherein it is
Yes.
going to connect in respect to port and then establish communication, right? So
Yes.
this particular device is we are not going to see in server infrastructure. We are going to see most of the time switches, this
Switches
kind of
and
firewall devices.
firewall devices.
Okay, this is a network devices, how it looks like. When we talk about virtualization, we are going to talk about switch and we are going to talk about network card. That is imagination, visualization. When I say that I'm going to assign a system and it is going to have a network card, we should get a imaginary thing that yes, this is a network card. It is going to have a port. And I'm going to say that this is a physical device. This physical device is not going to be present in our virtualization. We are going to create a virtual switches. We are going to create a virtual switches. When I say that virtual switches, you should be in a position to imagine that this is a switch. This is going to have a ports and these ports are going to connect from one port to one system. That cable, there won't be any cable in virtualization. The cable, instead of cable, logical cable will be there. Just a checkbox will be there like this. If I enable checkbox like, that is going to connect. If I remove this checkbox, that is going to disconnect. No cable, everything is going to mouse click. Okay, so that is the way it is going to work in virtualization. To understand this virtualization network, we need to understand how would this network card look like, what we are going to connect in a physical environment, what devices we are going to use to establish communication between system to system, where we are going to plug in a junction box. What is the junction box? That is a switch. we are going to create these all components virtually. This imaginary, this is going to be imaginary. Okay, and even firewall also is going to be imaginary. Okay, I'm going to say that firewall, whatever the port it is going to allow, I'm going to allow port. Everything is a virtualization, imaginary thing. So you should understand how it looks like physically. Clear? Any doubt? So when we say that network, I'm going to discuss more about the networking in separate session, wherein I'm going to prepare a diagram, and then I'm going to explain again this concept wherever it is required. So first of all, we should understand this terminologies. What is this terminologies? These are the terminologies we are going to use in our upcoming classes while working on virtualization networking. Okay, clear? This is all about storage and network. So a system means 5 components. We discussed about processor, we discussed about memory, storage, network. These 4 components are going to connect on motherboard. So these 5 components, without these 5 components, I cannot say any device as a complete system. Okay, especially on a server hardware. A server means it has to establish communication with the users. So the network is going to play in a vital role to establish communication. How it is going to establish communication? It should has a data. Whoever user requesting information, they are looking for some data information. That data information, where it is available? Under storage. So storage, without having data, without storing the data, I cannot give the information, right? So these 5 components are very vital for each and every system. So whenever we are going to work on some application issue or anything, these 5 parameters we need to validate to check storage is working, network is working, processor is working, memory is working. If all these 4 components working, still if it is not able to establish them, maybe motherboard problem. We should isolate in each layer. Okay, clear? Any doubt on this? I'm not going to talk about more in this hardware components. Directly, I'm going to further topics. Okay, whenever you are stuck with anything, please raise hand and ask the question. So the discussion improves the knowledge. Okay, different directions.
Yes, sir. Sir, and sir, SAN storage is used a hardware or in cloud, sir. SAN storage.
SAN storage, it is available on prime and it is available in cloud also. According to your requirement, it is going to deploy. For example,
Mhm.
yes, please.
Suppose, sir, we are not using internet, and then how can we use cloud, sir? Because we are use Ethernet, and how can the data save? Suppose, sir, we are need to save data from 24 hour, 25 days, 10 days, and use the SAN storage. But the SAN storage is a hardware or software? Sir, I want to know, sir.
Okay, let me explain first.
Okay, sir.
Cloud, what is a cloud? Cloud is nothing but you are accessing a particular resource. It can be network, it can be storage, it can be a system over the internet. Without internet, you cannot think about cloud. Cloud is a public, and in that public, you are having accessing the store. For example, Google Drive is one of the cloud storage. You are storing your files. If you don't have internet connection, will you able to access your Google Drive?
No, sir.
No, right? That is a requirement. To cloud, there is a dedicated connection, internet connection is required from your system to internet. Then internet you can access respective cloud provider. Now coming to the SAN. SAN is a physical or virtual. The SAN is nothing but a physical infrastructure, storage area network. A storage server will be there. The storage server is going to kind of tower server. This is a tower server, storage server. In this storage server, this can be tower server, this can be 4U rack server. This is a storage server. Why
So for
storage server?
rack server, okay.
Storage server, why I am saying storage server? There is a provision to insert a number of hard disks in these two models. Whereas number of bays are available to insert number of hard disks so that to get a maximum storage capacity. Now the storage server is ready. Now the storage server, it is sharing the storage disk to my blade server and my blade server, giving 1 TB storage to one server, 1 TB to another server. How it is going to establish communication between these two clients? These two are clients for to this particular storage server. How it is going to establish? I can use the network infrastructure. I'm going to get a nominal speed IOPS configuration between the storage server to my blade server. If I use the infrastructure, fiber optic infrastructure, that is requires a HBA card, host bus adapter card on this particular server, and on this particular server, HBA cards, then I need to run a cable, fiber optic cable I need to run. That fiber optic cable is going to use a switch called fiber optic switch.
Yes, sir. Yellow colors of fiber optics are fiber optics are inbuilt in the sir, switching in this for use rack server, sir. Yellow color fiber optic service, sir. Sir, yellow color fiber optics wire, sir.
Exactly. In data center, you can see that the
Uh,
cards, orange cards, orange color
lots of
cables.
lots of yellow color, sir.
Yes, yes,
Putting in
different colors, yellow cable colors available. There it doesn't matter. The
the.
only thing we need to look at this, what kind of card we are using for fiber optic communication. A separate infrastructure is required to establish communication over fiber. Now even network infrastructure is using fiber from one layer to another. Okay, we are getting
What,
internet over
sir, what
fiber.
is the role, sir? Rack server. What is the role of rack server, sir?
It is all depends. You are going to install rack enclosure wherein you are going to purchase. If you purchase rack server, you are going to install rack. On top of it, you are installing virtualization layer or Windows or Linux. It is up to you, your requirement. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just a moment. Let me clear this diagrams. Okay. Now move on to the next topic, that is why virtualization. Why virtualization? Virtualization in why it is required. The virtualization concepts are going to come into picture. For example, I'm using rack servers, rack enclosure. I'm going to use rack enclosure. These rack enclosures are going to place, and each rack enclosure, how many servers I can place? Only 10 servers. If my environment is having 100 physical servers, 10 rack servers I need to place in a certain place wherein I'm going to occupy certain footprint. If it is a blade infrastructure, the same 100 servers I can install, I can get it within 2 racks. What is I'm going to get? Saving footprint. Okay. If I use a tower server, same 100 tower servers, how much footprint is required? It is a large space is required. 2 to 3 floors required to place 100 tower servers. This is
Yes.
virtualization is going to come into picture. Why we are going to use this same 100 servers? I'm going to deploy by using 2 physical servers, 2 or 3 physical servers, 2 or 3 physical. So how much footprint I'm going to save? That is the advantage. That is the beauty of virtualization. Virtualization concept, why it is came into picture? Effective utilization of resources. That basic concept of why virtualization, effective utilization of resources. What is effective utilization? Whatever the server hardware I am purchasing, if I install only one web server, It is going to consume my resources not even 2%. What is my cost involved and what is the utilization? I'm not effectively utilizing my resources. How to utilize the resources effectively? By using the virtualization layer. I'm going to use, by using the same server, I'm going to deploy 100 web servers. No need to purchase. I'm going to save the cost. I'm going to save the footprint. I'm going to save. Not only that, the virtual machine, if there's some issue is there on this hardware, to get it replaced and get it corrected, how much time it is going to take? It is going to take days together. It may take at least hours together to get it rectified. But whereas in virtual server, if some issue is there, I can fix it within minutes or I can deploy a server within minutes. Whereas in to deploy one physical server with the Windows operating system and Red Hat or Linux operating system, I need to get the server. I need to load the operating system. I need to connect the cables. I need to provide AC. All those things requires. Whereas in virtual server, nothing. Within minutes, I can build a server. Within minutes, I can delete server. I can reduce the downtime. Apart from all this, the basic understanding why virtualization, effective utilization of resources. It is going to reduce the footprint, it is going to reduce the cost of ownership and all those things.
Yes, cost effective.
Cost effective. That is why virtualization. You can understand, Google it and get why virtualization. You are going to get a different information and understand if you're stuck with anything and then come back to me and ask me. Okay. Now, virtualization vendors. What are the different virtualization vendors? There are different virtualization vendors are there like VMware. I'm going to mention here VMware, Microsoft, Nutanix, Citrix,
Nix, Citrix,
Red
Citrix,
Hat.
Citrix.
There are the vendors, different vendors are there, provides the virtualization.
Red Hat.
VMware, we are going to call it as ESXi, and
Red Hat is
Microsoft, we are going to call it as Hyper-V.
yeah, Hyper-V.
Hyper-V.
HYP.
Nutanix, it is AHV, and Citrix, it is a Gen virtualization, and Red Hat, what is the Red Hat? KVM. These
So
are the
what HP Blade server, sir? HP Blade server is also.
that is hardware.
Oh yes, sir, hardware.
HP is a hardware. Dell is a
HP Blade
hardware.
server.
So I'm talking about virtualization of OS. Who are the providers of OS? Okay,
Oh yes.
virtualization layer. This is a virtual VM vendors to provide virtualization layer. Okay, VMware, Microsoft, Nutanix,
Yes, sir.
Red Hat.
Yes, sir.
We are going to talk about VMware, that is ESXi. Why it is industry leader? It provides a compatibility, user-friendly deployment, and it supports multiple functions. That's the reason VMware is an industry leader in virtualization. Even though in cloud infrastructure, in cloud also still they are providing in cloud, they are going to say that VMware on Azure, VMware solution on AWS. That means in the cloud infrastructure, they are using the VMware as an infrastructure. What infrastructure they are going to use to deploy the cloud servers, there is no visibility. But they are adopting the VMware technology as a solution to host the servers, client servers. VMware on Azure, VMware on AWS. So that is a industry leader, the virtualization, that infrastructure, the background infrastructure, it is going to use that VMware. Why? Because it is a compatibility and support multiple factors, and it is going to have redundancy. What is it called? Reliability. Okay, durability, reliability. We are going to say that robust technology. It is going to use to provide enhancement of performance metrics and all those things to virtual servers. That is the reason VMware is industry leader in virtualization layer. Okay. Now, as we are going to talk about VMware, we are going to understand what we are going to learn as part of this particular training module. Okay. We are going to learn about data center virtualization. What are the products are available? What are the products are available under VMware? As I stated, Customer Connect is one of the minimum details we are going to every VMware administrator is going to should have register an account. You can register free account. You are going to get a details on some information about. Now I am going to explore what are the products are available on VMware. There are plenty of products are available. See here, VMware vCloud Suite, vSphere. There are plenty of components are available in this particular product category. We are going to learn as part of this training module, we are going to learn about VMware vSphere data center virtualization. That is VMware vSphere. This is the product we are going to learn under this VMware vSphere. Yes, please. So we are going to learn about the VMware vSphere. Under VMware vSphere, we are going to talk about two products. That is VMware Data Center Virtualization. That is vCenter Server. vCenter Server, and then we are going to talk about ESXi. These two products are comes under data center virtualization that we are going to experience ESXi host and VMware vSphere server. That is a centralized management console. What are the versions are available in this particular two products? We are going to talk about these versions. These many versions are there in VMware vSphere data center virtualization. All these products, whatever the products is laid down here, all these products without ESXi host, without vCenter. For all these virtualization product is a base thing is that ESXi. Without ESXi, you can't talk about virtual machine. Without ESXi, you can't talk about centralized management console. Without vCenter centralized management console, you can't talk about any of these products. Okay, so what we are going to learn from this training module, it is a base foundation. After this ESXi and vCenter server only, you are going to get learn about different products like vSAN or vRealize operations or whatnot, and everything is going to depends upon these two products. That data center virtualization. So data center virtualization, you can't think about anything. There is a virtual desktop infrastructure, that is VDI, VMware Horizon. That Horizon also, it is going to, without ESXi host, without vCenter server, you can't deploy VMware Horizon, relay the operation, orchestration. There are different products are available under VMware portfolio. We are learning about two products, that is vCenter Server Data Center Virtualization. Under Data Center Virtualization 7.0, we are going to learn about ESXi, and that is a act as a virtualization layer, runs on hardware. Then we are going to discuss about that component in next session. Then next component which we are going to talk about, learn about vCenter Server, vSphere Server. That is a centralized management console to manage all ESXi hosts from one console. That is vSphere. These two products we are going to learn about. And these two products are going to have these many versions. I started my career from 3.5 and these many versions. Now currently these two products are, most of the organizations are running on these two products, and they are looking for experts to perform upgradation from these particular versions to latest versions, that is 7.4 and 8.4. Okay, I'm going to cover all the modules, how to perform upgrade. First, I'm going to start with how to start with base ESXi host installation. Once ESXi host installation is done, by using that, we are going to create a virtual machines. Once virtual machine is created, now second ESXi host, third ESXi host. Like that, if you are going to come, then the centralized management console is going to come into picture. That is vSphere server. Okay. So these two products we are going to understand. The one more thing, one of the participants asked about what is a certification, what I need to do certification. Well, just I'm going to give some additional information. It is not part of this training module, just certification module. What are the certifications are available? There are certifications are available. See here, VCTA, VCP. VCTA, it is starting certification. Everyone can understand the technology and you can write the exam and you can get the certification. This is an entry level certification to showcase your expertise in VMware technology, data center virtualization, and VCP, certified professional data center virtualization. This requires a additional module. For example, it is going to cover what are the things vCenter's VMware certified professional requirements is you need to get expertise this. Second thing is that attend one of the required training courses. You need to attend the training course from VMware Authorized Training Center. VMware Authorized Training Center is going to design ICM, Installation Configuration Management. It is one module or different modules are there. At any one of the module, you need to attend authorized training center that you need to pay nearly the training module, whatever the cost it may be, maybe 50,000, 40,000 will be there. It is a 5 day session, 5 into 8 hours, 5 day session. Within 5 days, they're going to complete and you need to pay nearly 50,000 plus rupees to complete this training. Once the training is completed, you are eligible to attend exam to get a VCP certification. Without this training module, you are not in a position to get a certification of VCP. Okay, but in this particular certification, VCTA, this is more than enough. This certification doesn't require any authorized training center. Like you are learning from this module, the same concepts in a detailed manner, and you are going to get lab access. This session is going to spread across 30 sessions or more than plus or minus, but you are going to get expertise and it is up to you how you are going to practice and how you are going to attend the exam. This certification also valid enough to showcase your expertise. Okay. Any doubts on this certification? Okay. So next session will be on Monday. We are going to talk about a few more topics about this virtualization. Guys, I'm going to tell you very clearly, each and every component is very badly need to understand future sessions, upcoming sessions. Not even one topic is, I can say that not even one topic is not required. Every topic, every concept is required to understand upcoming sessions. Okay. Slowly, I'm going to go in deep. Okay. So this is a basic foundation I'm trying to explain to you. Okay. If you have any doubts, please ask questions, go through that search engine, understand the technical terms, what are the topics I discussed here, and then you are going to get a different ideas, different doubts. Please come forward and shoot the question to me. It is an interactive session. Okay, it is, you are going to learn. Okay, it should be in a proper direction. Without base, you cannot learn, you cannot imagine, you cannot do. Okay, Please try to concentrate and do practice what are the topics we are going to discuss. Any questions, please? Okay. Before closing the session, just information. This third session, 2 more sessions will be there for free to attend. Please go and complete the payment to avoid uninterrupted live sessions and accessing recording sessions. Until today, these sessions will be uploaded to YouTube. From fourth session onwards, that is only recorded session will be available only whoever completes the payment. So please access www.logiclabstech.com wherein you will find batch number 244, VMware administration. Please click on buy now and complete the payment. If you face any payment issues or anything, please reach out our admin team on this support@logiclabstech.com or you can reach on these numbers. Happy learning. See you on Monday. Thank you all. Have a great day.